This is the Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Show. I'm your host, Coach James Lewis. Going to do a quick walkthrough through all 58 picks. Now that NBA Combine is completed, we got less than 2 weeks until the draft day, which is the 23rd of June. Basketball is heightened right now. The NBA Finals is looking like it might go down to 7 games. Without further ado, we're going to go to this number one pick. Orlando has the first pick once again, the luckiest team in lottery history. They need a franchise player. Yeah, they need shooters. They need scoring, which Chet Holmgren isn't fabulous at, but I think he's the best prospect. And with the team in the top 3 right now that we're looking at, all in rebuilding phases, you get the best player. And to me, that is Chet Holmgren, the way he affects the game all around. It would be remiss if Orlando passed up on him. But I mean, I feel like it's a win-win almost with the player that I believe is going to go, who possibly could go that number one, and that is Jabari Smith. I love the fit with Giddey, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is a true shooter. He can really space the floor on that Oklahoma City Thunder team rising forward, and he could be a star for them. I love the versatility on both ends. I love that he's just a young guy that is growing and seems to get better each and every day. Give me Jabari Smith at 2. At 3, the Houston Rockets are really bad. They don't play much defense. Paolo Banchero is the pick here, and yes, he's not known for his defense. He's maybe the best isolation scorer in this draft. I think he'll lead rookies in scoring. I think a pairing with him and Jalen Green is very potent offensively going forward. He looks the part. He's been the number one player all through high school for a reason, and we saw that on full display in the Final Four. I think the top 3 is evident who is going there. At 4, gets a little bit question mark. Jaden Ivey has been pegged as a top 4 prospect this entire way, but Sacramento trading for Domas Sabonis. I think they're in a win now situation, and Keegan Murray is here to win now. I don't like the Ivy Fox fit as well. It's hard to pass up on a player like that, so I could still see Sacramento getting Jaden Ivey at 5. Give me Jaden Ivey. I kind of want to see a Cade Cunningham compliment. I think he does this on both ends. Athletic wing. Gets better each and every year. We saw that huge leap that he went from his freshman to his sophomore year. And he's somebody that the Detroit Pistons can build around going forward. At 6. The Indiana Pacers, we mentioned they traded Domas Sabonis. They're in a rebuilding phase. They do have Tyrese Halliburton that you can build around, as he is a great kind of role player. You definitely want to look for a star, and this could be it. Shaedon Sharpe, the mystery man of the draft, someone who hasn't played basketball in some time. We've seen him beast out in some summer league performances and for the Canada national team, but he hasn't played much. But if you watch him in his one-on-ones or his workouts, he definitely passes the eye test. He's got a very good balance on his jumper. He could be a potent scorer going forward. And if I'm Indiana, we could potentially be getting a star here at 6. At 7, Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers are in a win now situation. He's just, reaching the back end of his prime of his career, and they need somebody to win with and play with. And Benedict Mathurin, to me, has that dog mentality that day one Dame is going to like. He's really good in transition. He can really shoot off of the ball as well. You have Simons coming. But I think Mathurin fits the dog mentality, and Chauncey Billups would love to coach and have him on the team. New Orleans Pelicans at 8. We're looking for Zion fit. He's going to get maxed out this summer, and they need shooting. And what better shooter than A.J. Griffin, who was lights out this entire year, shooting nearly 46% from downtown. He has some injury concerns. But I don't think you pass up on a prospect like this. And I really love what the Pelicans are building with the versatility of their wings, as well as CJ McCollum playing his now natural position at the point guard. At 9, Spurs need to stop drafting guards every single year. And this year they get Jalen Duren, who's the number 1 center on many people's boards. I do like Mark Williams, but we'll get to him in a little bit. He's an athlete. He pops off the board. He's the best big. The Spurs would be remiss if they didn't select Duren with that 9 pick. At 10, the Wiz could go different directions here. I think you need a guard, a point guard. Johnny Davis is not necessarily your prototypical point guard. I understand that. But he's, to me, the best player available. He can play on the ball, off the ball. He's a great rebounding guard. He's really good in the pick and roll. He needs to develop his playmaking, but the strides that he took from going to play USA basketball in the summer to this year is just spectacular. He's one of the best players in college basketball. And even though all defenses knew he was going to get the ball, he produced at a very high level. At 11, your New York Knicks need a lot of luck. Playmaking, center, shooting, big dip from the year prior. And Dyson Daniels kind of does it all. He's not a star, but he has defensive potential, elite defensive potential. You can pair him with an RJ Barrett. He's somebody that keeps climbing up the draft boards. I don't know if he'll be available here at 11 based on the combine and All-Star weekend and just his growth as a player. He can't really shoot the ball. I kind of have question marks on the fact that he is rated so high. So I would kind of go with some of these other prospects like a Davis that we just mentioned at 12. The Oklahoma City Thunder, now with their second pick, they get Jabari Smith first. Foundational franchise, developmental talent. Jeremy Socon of Baylor, just an impressive freshman. I like his dog mentality. He does got a little Rodman. I know he went the Rodman haircut, but he's got a little Rodman in him. He can play small ball 5. And if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm selecting Socon at 12. At 13, the Hornets, Michael Jordan, he's got a star in LaMelo Ball, and we got to fit around him. Hayward, Bridges, we don't know what's going to happen. Bridges is due to make a lot of money. They need a rim protector and a lob threat first. So give me Mark Williams out of Duke. It's somebody that really shuts down the interior, can really catch it really high, long standing reach. I like Mark Williams in this spot at 14. Cleveland Cavaliers, they need wing scoring and a 3-and-D, and I'll get the freshman Malachi Branham. He was very efficient. He's one of the better scorers here in the draft, and he just seems to keep getting better each and every day. And they got a fair amount of good looks with him being in Ohio State this freshman year, and I like him in this selection at 15. Here we go to Hornets again. I mentioned a wing replacement or some depth in that position. I like Tari Eason. He really is good in transition. He's got a good first step, very right-handed, but he has defensive versatility. And although he came off the bench for LSU, he's clearly their best player. And I think he's a good fit with LaMelo Ball. At 16, the Atlanta Hawks have Trae Young. And they need scoring, though, outside of him. Bogdanovich can get his a little bit. But I want to see another guard pairing. And Ochai Agabi has winning ways. I mean, we saw him take Kansas all the way to the national title and win. And he was their best player all season long and had a phenomenal last year in college. And I think that's going to translate the fact that he got better each and every day. And Atlanta and Trae Young will appreciate GM Lewis drafting them. At 17, we got the Houston Rockets and the top point guard in the draft, Ty Washington. He's, Kentucky, John Wall's there. John Wall's stamping him. He broke John Wall's record with 17 assists in a single game as a freshman. Good player, and I think if he falls to 17, the Rockets, this is a sure lock here. He can shoot the ball. He can play well with Jalen Green. I like it. And then you got Banchero. You got a bright future here. At 18, the Chicago Bulls. They started off very hot in the Eastern Conference. The injuries hit them big. One in particular was Pat Williams. Like just that defensive four. EJ Liddell, he got better each and every season at Ohio State. I love him for Chicago. I think he can plug and play right away. Blocking 2.6 a game, but then at the same time being their best scorer and good rebounder, shooting efficiently. EJ Liddell, he's a dog. Give me him at 18, 19. T-Wolves, you need fit around Cat and Ant. And give me shooting. Nikola Jovic shows that he's got some athleticism. He can catch it off the shoes, got a really quick release. And I think he's a good pairing with Cat and then Ant, who nobody in basketball can stay in front of. And is just a budding superstar. At 20, the Spurs here again, back on the clock. Yeah, we got him, Jalen Duren, first time around. And Jalen Williams just really was very impressive in the combine. Santa Clara, you don't really know what you're going to get, but he had a big growth spurt from his freshman to his sophomore year in college. He's been efficient with his shooting, but with his wingspan, I think he has the potential to be a really good 3-and-D, and they've developed these type of players over there in San Antonio for some time. He's ready to play now at 21. The Denver Nuggets, they can't really do anything outside of Jovic. So you got to get some scoring here. Jamal Murray will come back. Hopefully Michael Porter Jr. will be better. But I'll take the risk on Jaden Hardy. He's an amazing athlete. He can really score the ball from deep. Yes, he was inefficient, but he averaged more points for the G League Ignite than Jalen Green did last year. He can still score the ball really good. It's just a matter of, is he going to take the right winning plays? And then when you play with, back-to-back MVPs, somebody that makes everybody better, I think this is just a perfect fit for him. And I think he can really take off, and they could get just a steal at 21. At 22, the Memphis Grizzlies, I guess your biggest wow team this year that really came out the gate and then continued it even when Ja went down. Keep drafting like you have. You've been hitting on almost every pick. I like Kennedy Chandler. We don't know what's going to happen with Tyus Jones in all seasons. He's due to get paid. Can they keep him? I don't know. Kyle Anderson, he's out there as well. Kennedy Chandler is just a winner all around. He's smaller, but he's got like 6'5", 6'6" wingspan. And he's tough. He makes winning plays. He could be your plug-in backup point guard, and I just feel confident in him as a pick. We saw him in Team USA be their leader. Supreme at 23. We saw the Nets neglect this pick, so thus Philly gets it. Philly fell short in the playoffs. I like Marjon Beauchamp as a good fit for not only Embiid but Harden. He's really good in transition. He's very versatile defender. He has good shot mechanics. It didn't really translate this year, but a lot of times he looked like the best player in the G League Ignite all season. I think he's a lock, and you draft a player that you can play right now. And we saw Thibault not being able to play in the playoffs, and he might be that kind of a replacement for him. 24, the Milwaukee Bucks fell just short in Game 7, but it was, of course, a lot without Middleton. They'll be back next year. I like Walker Kessler. He's kind of can be that Brook Lopez replacement. When they didn't have Brook Lopez, they really kind of needed that interior force, and nobody was a better defender in college basketball than Walker Kessler, who averaged 4.6 blocks. He's shown shooting mechanics in high school, and if I'm Milwaukee, that is who I'm drafting as they're in Giannis's prime. At 2-5, we have the San Antonio Spurs back up, third pick in the first round. Ousmane Dieng, he's kind of all over the place as far as draft boards are concerned. Very rough start for the New Zealand Breakers this year, but he showed signs that he can step back, hit a three. He's very big, and he plays really good defense. I think he's a solid defensive prospect. So you give me Duren, you give me Jalen Williams. And then give me Dang as a project. It's France. Who knows if Tony Parker has intel on the kid, but he has promise. And I've seen a lot of boards him going at 12 to OKC. So if he's here at 25, you got 3 first-round picks. San Antonio, make it happen. 26. Dallas Mavericks. Does Brunson get paid? They move on? They look like they really need him. But to be safe, give me Trevor Keels. He kind of fits that mold. He's a really big bruiser. I really like him a lot. I think he's going to be a promising pro. He's got a warrior mentality. He's been inconsistent, but I think if he fine-tunes his three-point jumper, he could be a really good, solid NBA pro for a long time. At 27, Miami Heat. Again, a Jimmy Butler short three away from the finals for the second time in 3 years. More culture guys. And Christian Braun might be the answer there. Who knows what the future holds for Tyler Hero? Pat Riley doesn't seem to love him too much, as he says stars need to play both ends of the court, not just offense. So I like him as a fit going forward for Miami. 28, the Warriors. Thinking about like this whole future team and what would be a good fit. You got Wiseman, you got Moody. I like Patrick Baldwin Jr. here. I think I like him a little bit better than most people. People have fallen off the bandwagon of a bad freshman year, but a 6'10" lockdown shooter. I think as a complement role guy, and he can really spread the court and work with the Warriors' future going forward. At 29, Memphis Grizzlies keep making the right pick, and this time they go Wendell Moore, the best shooting guard in the nation award. He shot 41% from three. He play makes a little bit. He rebounds. He's a good leader. He fits right in. At 30, I think OKC shoots for the future here and gets Caleb Houston out of Michigan. Somebody that when he shoots and makes it, he looks the part for sure. Had a disappointing freshman season. At 31, the Indiana Pacers. Give me South Bend native. They stick in their hometown. They get Blake Wesley out of Notre Dame. 32, the Orlando Magic select Kendall Brown. Somebody that was on the first round for quite some time has dropped off a little bit. And if he drops to 32, I don't see Orlando. You got to get the best player available or best player going forward. Kendall Brown. 33, the Toronto Raptors select another rangy 6'7", versatile, skilled player in Dalen Terry, who is quite impressive in the NBA Combine, and he just fits the mold of a Toronto Raptor draft pick in the past 5 years. Oklahoma City back on the board, and they're not done. Bryce McCowens played on a bad team, got the ball in his hands, but he had 11 games where he had 20-plus. He can really score it, and he's 6'7", got good size. Oklahoma City, it's for sure a good pick for them. At 35, Orlando back again. Max Christie for 3. I can just see him developing more and more. A lot of times he did look like a freshman out there from Michigan State, but the jumper is pure, and you need shooting in the NBA. So go with a promising freshman that may have had a rocky year. At 36, Portland Trailblazers, we need a win-now player, Jake LaRavia, who may not make it out the first round, but if he's sitting there at 36, I'm getting him. At 37. Put my GM hat on again for the Sacramento Kings. Christian Coloco, he's a good defender. He obviously was Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. He had games where he looked unstoppable as a lob threat, but also in the interior. At 38, the Spurs, who are in the rebuilding phase, Peyton Watson, very disappointing freshman year, but based on his ratings coming out of high school, even how he was looking a little bit for Team USA in the summertime, I just think it just wasn't a great fit with them, and kind of win now mentality just didn't fit with the program. I don't know if there was beef there, but Peyton Watson, I think he gets a guarantee for some of these teams. He keeps his name in the hat as far as NBA drafting, and gets drafted by the Spurs, and they can develop him over there in San Antonio. And we know their track record. They've done great in that in the past. At 39, J.D. Davidson, Raging Bull. We saw Cleveland hit big injuries in the backcourt. So I'm gonna draft him a couple guards, and this one is explosive with athleticism, and it could work out going forward. Number 40, Minnesota Timberwolves, Andrew Nebhart, somebody a little bit more, I guess, for sure here. He looked really good in the combine in the pick and roll and transition. He's got pretty good size. Team Canada background. He's been a good player his entire career, and I think he took a little bit of a jump here, and he can really shoot it when he's open. So I look at him as being a good, solid backup point guard. Pat Bev, who knows what they're going to do with that going forward, but they definitely need backcourt depth. At 41, New Orleans Hornets get Justin Lewis. I love Justin Lewis. I think he pairs well with the Zion. I think he can shoot it from outside. I just think it's just a matter of time getting more reps as far as that's concerned. But as a sophomore, averaging 17 and 8, who's very tough-minded. He fits that mold of what the Pels are doing going forward. At 42, the Knicks get Julian Champagnie. St. John's, they got a lot of looks at him, and him playing in Madison Square Garden, 2 steals and a block. Some of his games, they know that he's going to get the ball, and he's producing every time. I like him for New York. At 43, the Clippers, their first and only pick, they get Jalen Williams. Now, he might go back to Arkansas as they got the greatest recruiting class that they ever had, and he might be the icing on the cake, but I just love his athleticism. I think he fits the Clippers here. I could see the Golden State in the first round grabbing him. I think that he fits that very well, but we'll see what happens. If he's sitting there at 43, he definitely should be selected. At 44, Gabriel Procida. In a combine, he looks smooth. He can really shoot it, and he's more athletic than I thought, or more than I thought, just looking at his tapes coming in. And he could provide some scoring off the bench for Atlanta. 45, Charlotte Hornets. Josh Minot, the high flyer from Memphis. A lot of NBA scouts like him as a future prospect that could develop into something special. 46, Detroit Pistons select Harrison Ingram, who I know we drafted Jaden Ivey in the first round, but they were Team USA teammates. 6'8", 230. He gets it to me, and I know that his numbers are awful, but so was Zaire Williams when he went to Stanford just a year ago, and that seemed to work out. Jeremy Grant, we don't know what's going to happen with him going forward. I like Harrison Ingram to the Detroit Pistons at 46. At 47, Memphis Grizzlies. I'm just win now players, making the right pick. I like David Roddy. He might be that Kyle Anderson replacement. He really lit it up from 3 all of a sudden, but he's kind of like a power forward point guard, something that you don't really see, but he's a big guy that I think that fits that Memphis Grizzly toughness role. At 48, the T-Wolves, Khalifa Diop. I think that they need some front court depth and some toughness, and he could play alongside some Cat because Cat shoots a 3. There's some liabilities there, but I think that you draft a player that could be impactful on the defensive end for you. At 49, Sacramento Kings get Hugo Besson, somebody that can really fill the ball up really well. I like what he looked like, the best player for this Breakers team, playing alongside Ousmane Dieng. He is a crafty guard that off the bench, I like him to contribute that first year for Sacramento. He's a ready player right now. Somebody that could use some more time is Jean Montero. Didn't look the best in the combine, but he is crafty. He can pass better than once thought, and he's of legends in the Dominican Republic, and he's just getting better. So I think that they can take a chance on a guard for the future. At 51, Warriors, we need win now guys, and Ron Harper Jr. is that. He can shoot the ball from 3. He's very smart. I think he fits in very well with where this team is going in the next 3-4 years. And he's ready to play right now. At 52, New Orleans Pelicans. Again, Zion fits, and I've been getting a bunch of wings that are versatile. On Jabari Walker, if he's sitting there at 52, I definitely got to grab him. He might be a hitter. At 53, Boston Celtics, Travion Williams, the bruiser in the post, somebody that really pass the ball. If Golden State doesn't get him, Boston, he's a winner, and I like to see a contributor or a contender, I should rather, draft him. And if he's available, I think it can be effective. Day 1 at 54. The Washington Wizards have one of the worst front courts in the entire NBA, and Ishmael Kamagate might be an answer with this pick. Only a couple of picks remaining here. At 55, the Warriors select Hoonjang Lee, the sniper from deep, and I just want to see pool party lineup with him, because it'll just be unbelievable to watch the showcase of shooting that could be there. He's one of the best shooters in this draft. At 56, give me Matteo Spagnola. At 57, Blazers, Keon Ellis, who looked like the best player in Alabama this year. At 58, our last pick, the Indiana Pacers select Michael Foster out of G League Ignite. And that's all we have. I tried to be quick with analysis. Please like, subscribe, comment. I love to hear from you. Any type of feedback is appreciated, and that's all I have. I'll see you next time.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.